Welcome to Test Room, your go-to hub for professional knowledge sharing. In this tutorial, you will learn how to leverage robot frameworks built-in libraries. We will also explore a little bit on the external libraries like operating system, date and time, and string. Later, we will deep dive into hands-on exercise with these libraries to help you understand their practical usage. Let us go to PyCharm. If you remember, this is a file that we created during the last exercise. What I am going to do is I am going to delete all these libraries. Along with that, I will also delete all these parts and I will only keep the test case section. Okay, so I'll just save this and let us explore some of the built-in functions. So the test case will be exploring functions. Okay, and here also you can write a comment telling that this file is meant for learning the robot framework built-in built-in keywords or functions. In order to see the list of keywords that are part of built-in library, what you have to do, just type BUILT built-in, then dot. This basically will give the list of the keywords or a function that are exposed by the built-in keyword. We have used log. Log is basically used for the printing into a console log and also into your test report. Catenate method is used for combining the two strings. You can basically go to the documentation of robot framework, the built-in documentation, see what each function does, right? What is the functionality of each function, or you can just click one of them, and if you put an mouse hover over there, and it will show the complete documentation how to use this particular function. Okay, for a time being, what I will do is I will use the log keyword and double click on this. Then I can here write a message. This is to test the built-in functions. Built-in functions. Okay, after that I will, yeah, it is not necessary to use a built-in dot. You can directly use the function if you know. Now I'm going to use a keyword called evaluate. This keyword evaluates any expression. Let us hover and see what it says. It evaluates the given expression in Python and returns the results. It is basically evaluates a expression. Expression can be a kind of a small mathematical operation like addition, subtraction, division, or it can be a comparison operation and things like that. Let us use this evaluate keyword and try to add the two numbers 5 plus 3 and then try to store the result in another variable called result variable. For this I am using a scalar variable result equals to evaluate. Remember to give a two spaces, yeah, between this particular particular word and also between the keyword and its parameters. Okay, two spaces or a tab. Now let us try to print the result. Let's execute. You see this, it has given me the evaluate. Now try to put an assert to see whether the evaluate function works properly or not. Okay, for this we will be using the keyword should. There are bunch of built-in keywords starts with should, which is used for the assertion operation, right? So we will try to use should be equal as a number because we are comparing the two numbers. We'll give the expected result. Expected result is 8 and actual result is this one, right? Now try to execute this. See, the test case is passed, right? Now the test case is passed. Now let us try to change it to 7. We are telling that we are expecting 7 and this test case basically should fail. So it gave us the 8 is 7 is not equal to 8. So this is how we can use the built-in keywords to write the test cases. Now let us check the operating system library. They provide the keywords to interact with the file system, to manipulate the environment variable, to work with the command line and etc. In order to work with the operating system keywords, you need to import the library by name operating system under the settings section. Now let us create a test case to explore the functionality of the operating system. There is a keyword called create directory, and if you hover it, it says that it's possible, yeah, it is going to create a directory. Also the possible intermediate directories are also created. Passes if the directory already exists. If the directory is already exists, it is not going to create a directory. Instead of it, it says that test case is passed. Let us try to create a directory called temp directory, which will be created if you don't give any path. It will be created under your current working directory. Our current working directory is built-in d work robot framework slash built-in, under which a new directory will be created. Let us clear this and try to execute this test case, and you see that test case is passed and also the new directory is created. Let us go and execute this test case again. As per the documentation, this test case should pass even if the directory is already existing. If the directory is already existing, it will not go and create a new directory. Instead of it will pass the test case. Let us go and execute. Test case is passed now, and you see the directory already exists. Now let us go and create a directory by giving the complete path. So let us see again, create directory. I will give a path. I copied the path. Under built-in, I want to give another path as operating slash test directory. If you see, this path is not exist currently. We don't have a directory by name operating system. So operating, right? Operating under the built-in directory. So now in order to create the test directory, it will also create the intermediate directory by name operating. If you see the documentation, it clearly says that it will also possible to create an intermediate directories if it is not existing. Let us go and try executing this test case. The test case is passed. You see, it created a directory by name operating, under which it created a subdirectory called test. This is how basically it works. Now let us go and remove this particular directory. For example, remove directory, and then you need to give this particular path. And let us execute this particular test case. Yeah, test case got passed. It removed the directory. Basically it did not remove the directory operating, but it basically removed the directory test. So if you want to remove the operating directory, then what you have to give here, let us execute this test case again, this particular step. is going to create a directory test, and now we will remove both the operating and test directory, right? Or we can also give the path as operating. So when you give this path, it is going to delete a directory by name operating, right? It will try to delete a directory operating, since test is exist inside which, inside this particular directory, it will also going to remove the test directory. So for a time being, let us delete this and try to execute. Now if you see, there is an operating under which there is a test. Okay, now let us give this path to remove the operating directory. Execute this. Test got executed. So if you see, it did not remove the directory test. So I think you will have to remove it one by one, or there may be also a recursion function to do this. Let us see, but for a time being, we will remove it one by one. Okay, let's try to execute this now. And let's go to the folder and see test case passed. Now if you see, it removed the operating directory. So remove directory will remove the last directory, right? In the path, it will remove the last directory. First it removed the test directory, then it removed the operating directory. So this is how the remove directory works. Now let us try to create some file under temp directory. So for which we will be using a keyword called create file. We can give a path as temp directory called some text dot txt. Then we will try to list if the file exists. See if the file exists. Is the command for this thing is the, I think, list the files in the directory. Okay, list the files in directory. Then I have to pass this particular. This will basically returns you the list, right? So I will have to cache this within the variable list file. Then I can do this. Then I can log this. And also I can put a assertion file should exist, should give a path, and this is my path. I am searching for this particular file, right? Let us try to execute this test case. I think we can also put a breakpoint. Yeah, and then what I can do, sorry, you can debug this. It came up to the breakpoint. It stopped the execution here. Then what I can do is I can go and see whether this file is been created. Check this file is created, right? This file is created. Now let us continue testing. Yeah, the test execution completed now, and test case is also passed. What it did is it got me the file name by using the list files in the directory. and then it also passed the assertion. It also checked for whether the file exists in this particular location. This is how this basically works, the creation of the files. Now let us remove this file. Let us remove this file. Remove file. So you have to give the path. Then again try to get this, try to print this. Now it should print basically the empty. It should print the empty list. There should not be any value in this. And then we will try to see file file should not exist, right? File should not exist, and this is the path, right? Okay, let us try to execute this test case now. See, this test case got passed, and for the first time it got the list as a file name as some text.txt, and after that this file, this is empty, says it is a zero file, right? This list contains zero file. And then it also, then because it deleted a file, okay, it removed a file, then the list was empty, then it compared file should not exist. This is how the operating we can use the operating system built-in function. There are a lot of other functionalities, that are a lot of other keywords that you can explore. You can go to the robot framework documentation and go to the section about the operating system library, where it will give you the list of functionalities that this particular library exposes. At the end of this lesson, we will also see how to basically navigate through the documentation of robot framework and finding the keywords from each libraries. You can find the detailed documentation about the built-in libraries under the official website of robot framework. You have to go to the section resources, under which you have the libraries, right? So if you go to the built-in libraries, click on here. So it gives, it lists basically all the built-in libraries. So if you want to get more information about for example operating system library, you can click over here. It will take you to the documentation page, and on the left hand side you can find the list of functionalities or the list of keywords this particular library exposes, and on the right hand side if you click on any particular one of the keyword, on the right hand side you can find its documentation. Let us go and explore the date and time library, which is used for date and time manipulation. In order to use the keywords from this library, you will have to import the date and time library under the settings section, and the library name is date and time. Okay, let us create a test case exploring date and time functions. Before using the date and time library, let us go to their official documentation. Basically, it exposes these many number of keywords. I am interested in get current date. But before we use these functions, I want to show you the date formats that are supported, right? So you can print or display the date in a different formats, like it can be like year, month, date, or you can also tell like Monday 21st October 1978 and things like that, right? So you can display the current date and time in a different formats, and if you want to know different formats that are supported, then you have to go to this particular link. This is the official Python documentation to display the current date and time. And if you see, they use the keyword called directive. The ampersand a means you can display the current date and time in the uh, in the weekday format like sun month. If you want full Sunday Monday, then you'll have to use directive capital A. Similarly, if you want to display an year something like 2024, you have to use capital Y. And the small y is used for the year without century, that is the two-digit number. Similarly, there is for month and there is a for month and date as well. If you see, for the month it is in small m, and for the date it is small d. Okay, let us use these directives in our the keywords to display the different forms of current date and time. Let us go and see the current get current date, and it takes, basically it doesn't take any parameters, but you can also provide one additional parameter as the display format of your current date and time. Okay, this is the directive that I told you earlier, right? So let us go to our pie chart editor, try to display the current date and time. Get the current date and time. It basically takes a format string. Okay, it's called as a result format. Let us copy this one, and I want to display as as year in 4 digit, that is capital Y, then month in small letters, small m, and date like this. So today's date is 2024 10th month and 22nd date. That is how it is going to display as per the format I defined. Let us store it as a date time equals to this one, that is log this particular variable, and let's go and execute this test case. See, it displayed a date in the year, month, and date format. So you can also use different formats. For example, if you want to display in a different format, so let us copy paste this one and say this is the formatted one. Here I want to display as for example today is Tuesday. For that you have to use the directive capital A, then followed by so date, okay, then space as month. So if you want to display month in the English as OCT for October, if it is OCT, then I will have to use small b like this. I think there should not be two spaces. This is B, sorry, this is D. After that there is B, and after that there is an year with 4 digits. Then let us log this one. Instead of date, it is date format. I am expecting it should display like this is Tuesday 22nd OCT as an October and 2024. Let us see what it displays. Say it displayed like that, Tuesday 22nd October 2024. This is how we can use this function and try to display the current date and time in a different format. Now let us explore some of the functionalities from string library. Let us import library by name, sorry, sorry, library by name string. Copy paste this one, test case, exploring string functions. So let us try to convert into something into uppercase. For that we can use a variable uppercase equals to convert to, I think, to uppercase. String is test troop. Yeah, then I have to log. Let's copy paste this one here. Instead of this variable, I will use this variable and try to execute this. See, it has given me test true. Now I try to combine two strings as for example, variable is my channel is equal to concatenate with my channel is, then I will give this as uppercase here with the two spaces, but before that I need to use a separator, and I can use separator equals to, let us use something like this, colon colon, and see what it gives. And then let us log this one. Alright, let us log this one. See, it gave my channel is, so it combined the string with the separator as this one. Okay, you can see that. Now let us try one more functionality called as split string. Split string, I can give the string as robot framework, robot hyphen framework. Let us give robot hyphen framework, and this takes, I think it takes 3 parameters, right? So split string and then a character. You have to give on based on which character you have to split. For example, let us take my channel itself instead of robot framework, and I have added them using this particular character, right? So now I want to separate them using this particular character, right? So I will be storing this into another variable called as split var. Then when it splits the string into an array, right? Splits the string into an array, and array of 0 it into a list, right? List or an array. Array of 0 is basically will have my channel is, and array of 1 will have, so this is how basically give it as something like this. So this, let us log this one. array of that variable, and then sorry, let us, and the one will be test true. Try to execute this. See, first one is my channel, the other one is test true. This is how the string manipulation works with the string library, the keywords that is exposed by the string library. Hope you understood. Let us do one exercise combining all these libraries. Let us write a test case as um, test for combining all libraries. Okay, and let us start with getting the current date. Let us get a current date in this format, and then let us log the current date and time. After that, we will create a directory name. Let us give the dir name by catenate function. Use catenate function with the separator as underscore. Then the directory name, let us start with the uh, combine, then followed by current date and time. Then we will create this directory, create the directory, then we will put a log message as directory creation is success. Creation of okay, so we'll have to concatenate the message again. Let us concatenate the message as here we can give space as a separator. Creation of directory, this one is success. Then we will log this message. And if you want, we can also create a file name. Yeah, this is enough, I guess. We can also check before logging into this message. Let us check if the directory should or directory should exist function to see this directory name, and then we'll put a message that this is success. So I am combining the date function, then there is a string function, then the built-in log function, then the operating system function. Let us try to execute this test case. Yeah, test case is passed. So you can see this particular directory is created, right? Combine, then date and time. Sorry, combine and date in the year, month and date format. Okay, let us go to the log directory and see the how the logs are created. So the important one for us is this one, and open with the it's opening, and you see the test cases are successful. And I also told you how to examine the how the log structure looks like and how to examine that. And you see, you can see it listed all the keywords that we are used in that particular test case. If I put it here, it listed out all these keywords basically. Let us put side by side, and you see this keyword get current date and time, then the login, then the concatenating, then create directory, then checking for the directory exist, and then again for the message function, right? So this is how it works, and you can go inside and basically also see what it does. Yeah, this is how the log has been created. That brings end of this video. In this session, we explored how to effectively use robot frameworks, built-in libraries, and work through practical exercises to apply what we learned. We also took a closer look at robot frameworks documentation to understand the keywords from different libraries. I hope you enjoyed learning with me. If you find this video useful, please support the channel by subscribing. Thank you.